Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making spring rolls. It's a family favourite. I got this recipe from a friend of mine who had the only Chinese restaurant in Maryborough, so they're pretty authentic. The things you'll be needing is 500 grams of pork, 500 grams of chicken, minced chicken, 500 grams of prawns, which I'm going to show you how to clean them. These were frozen, chop them up. You'll be needing 2 cups of spring onions, finely chopped up, 2 cups of Chinese garlic, which comes like this, and you just chop it up finely, 100 grams of vermicelli, a very, very fine pasta type noodle, 2 cups of carrots, 100 grams of black fungus. Now don't be discouraged by the name, it's a mushroom. And what we do with that is we will soak them and they'll swell up. So we'll get those and we'll pop them into some hot water and drain them and then chop them up. We'll be needing our spring roll skins. I've actually got, they come in packs of 50. I've got 200 of them, but we may only make about 150. We'll also be needing some fish sauce, just a few drops of fish sauce. We need about 3, maybe even 1/4 cup of oyster sauce and about 3 tablespoons of sesame oil. You'll also be needing some, I don't have much of it, but you'll also be needing some corn flour. We'll use this as glue to bind the pastry. And you'll be needing some either vegetable oil or canola oil. I have vegetable oil. You basically need an oil that can get to a really hot heat. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing we'll need to do is put some boiling water into the bowl, and we'll have our vermicelli sitting in there. And also, we'll need to put our black fungus into a bowl. Just make sure you move it. And we pour. And that'll take about 20 minutes and that'll swell up. Okay, here's the 500 grams of prawns that I prepared earlier. So I've washed them and I've deveined them. Got a couple here that I'm going to show you how to shell and devein. Okay, so what you do is you get your prawn, you put your thumb at the back of the neck and you pull it off, the head off. Hopefully the legs come off as well. And then you just remove the legs. And then you can slowly pull out the vein. And then just with your fingers, you can just, on either side of the prawn, and de-shell it. And the prawn should just fall out. It is a little time consuming, but it's worth it because I'd rather fresh prawns than, there's your little prawn, than frozen ones. Okay, now we've deveined them. I'm just going to give them a little wash. I just wash them. And then we're going to pop them in the blender and chop them up. So we'll try and squeeze out all the excess water. And then we'll put them in the blender. Look, you don't need to throw the heads out. What you can do is freeze them or just put them aside and boil them and make a fish stock, which is really nice for vegetable soup or whatever. Okay, after de-shelling the prawns, you really need to give your hands a good clean. So I'm just going to get a bit of detergent. There's nothing worse than fish smelling hands. So give them a really good clean. Okay, now that the prawns have drained as much as they can, we're going to put them into the food processor, which will chop them up. Okay, here we go. We're going to pop them into the food processor. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to chop them up to the point where they become completely minced. I'm going to get it to a point where they're sort of still a little bit chunky because I like to get that nice little bite. So we'll pop them in. And what I'll do is just pulse it. And that'll do. I don't want them any minced up more than that. So we've got little chunks. It's not completely minced. And what we need to do is pop that into our bowl. At this stage, our mushrooms will have expanded. So we're going to just pop them in the colander to drain. And we'll leave them there and let them drain all the excess water. The next step is to get our pork and our chicken. Now, let me just stress that if you have dietary requirements that won't allow you to have pork, you can double the quantity in chicken. So rather than having 500 grams of chicken, you can have a kilo. So we'll get our chicken, pop it in with our corn, and I'll put my pork in there as well. The next step is to drain our vermicelli because it's nice and soft now. So we need to pop that into a colander to drain all the water. Just give it a little shake. Okay, while that's draining, I'm going to chop up the mushrooms and I'll pop that in the blender to do that. So I'll be back in a moment. So this is what you will get after you've popped it into the blender. There'll be tiny little pieces of mushrooms. Okay, once your vermicelli has drained, it'll be nice and soft. So just grab sections of it and pop it on a chopping board, and with a sharp knife, just chop it in sections because we don't want that too minced. We like a little bit of texture. Once we chop up our vermicelli, you just get little pieces like this. Now I'm going to combine everything together. Okay, I find this a lot easier if you wear rubber gloves because you're going to have to use your hands rather than a tablespoon or a wooden spoon. Okay, so we'll add our vermicelli, we'll add our mushroom. I think we're going to need a bigger bowl. Okay, this is the biggest bowl I had, so I'm going to transfer everything into this pot. And it's just to mix. Now we're going to add the carrot, the Chinese garlic, and the spring onions. Now with my hands, I'm going to mix it together because I find it's easier to mix. This will take a few moments, so just give it a sort of a stir and a squeeze to make sure everything's mixed. You can't do this with a spoon. You need to use your hands. Once we've mixed all of our ingredients together, should end up with something like that. What we'll do is add our sauces. I'll start off with sesame oil. We need probably one. We'll need about 3. We need about a good shake of the fish sauce, probably about half a tablespoon. And then with the oyster sauce, we need about 1/4 cup for a quantity that big. Oyster sauce. I'm just going to add some salt and pepper. I have some pepper. It's not essential, but I like it. And just a little bit of salt, not too much, because the oyster sauce and the fish sauce has a lot of salt. Now I'm just going to apply my gloves again, and then we'll come back and mix it. Okay, just give it a really good stir, combine. Make sure you mix all those sauces together, using your hand to squeeze it and turn at the same time. It's a great workout. Finally, we've mixed all of the ingredients together. So we'll just set that aside. What we need to do is get our corn flour, which I don't have a lot, but I've got about 4 tablespoons in here. And what we need to do is add a little bit of water to that. And this will act as the glue to help seal the skins of the spring rolls. So just mix that together. Use cold water, don't use hot water because it'll just clump. So what we need to do is just combine it together, get it into a nice runny consistency. Now, I'm going to open the spring rolls. Now, here I have a wet tea towel, a damp tea towel, because you'll need to place these within the damp tea towel to keep them nice and moist. Once you've opened the spring roll skins, what we're going to do is remove one with half a tablespoon of the mixture. Then we dip our fingers in the corn flour and water mixture and just run that along. There's no other way. You have to use your fingers. It is a little bit messy, but it's all worth it in the end. Now you grab the end corner and you roll it over, pressing down. Then you grab the next corner, roll that over, press it down, and then the next corner, roll it over, press it down, and then just continue to roll. And there we have our spring roll. Okay, we've made 30 at the moment, so we're just going to cook these off and I'll show you what we need to do. So just get yourself a saucepan, some vegetable oil, canola oil or a peanut oil, something that can reach a high temperature. So I'm going to put about a third at the bottom, or maybe a little bit more. Okay, we're just going to pop that on the stove. Okay, to test whether it's ready, we just get a bit of bread and we drop it in. Yeah, that's ready. So we'll just take that out. It doesn't burn. Turn the heat down to half. Now I like to add in about 6 at a time. One, 2, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm just going to put the timer on. I need to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, they're ready. So what we do is they're a nice golden brown. Just let them drain a little bit and then pop them on paper, napkin, and just let them drain the oil. Okay, once they've cooked and they've drained, I'll just open one up for you just to show you how well they've cooked inside. So we'll just flip that open and there we go. Perfect. I'm just going to have to try one. Got a little bit of ketchup menace here. We have soy sauce and we have a chili sauce. Nice and cooked, very hot. Yum. They're great for party, pre-dinner, little nibblies. Just make them anytime. Enjoy. They're hot, but they're absolutely yummy. So give it a go. As I said, if you don't want to use pork, use chicken. Thank you. Pop my gloves on. What's going on? No, they're not going on. Wait.